ladies and gentlemen, back once again. It's the Weekly Pro Wrestling Rush, episode 8, and I'm joined here by Matt Shadis and Steven Lane once again. What's up, guys?
Howdy.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Okay, so like usual, we're going to go over last week's Raw and discuss some things in the world of pro wrestling like we usually do. I've seen on my channel that we've gained a couple subscribers. Thanks a lot for listening out there, whoever did. And I'm encouraging people to subscribe when they listen and like our videos and just give us some, you know what I mean? Give us some motivation to do this every week, which we love doing it anyway, but a following's cool too.
No bad comments on YouTube, please.
Yeah, no bad comments yet. Oh, you know we're gonna get some now. Okay, so the beginning of Raw starts off, and you got old Hulk Hogan coming out. What'd you guys think of Hogan's entrance this time and stuff? Do you think he's over with the crowd as much as he used to be?
His TNA run kind of just makes me laugh because it's like, now that he's back in WWE, it's like, weren't you in that other company like a few months back? And now, to me, it's just like, I don't know, he's hitting, like, he's making his rounds, you know, and it's like,
It just seems he's a totally different person in WWE than he was in TNA. In TNA, he was trying to act like just a regular guy, a cool guy. Now he's in there and he has to be Hulkster, the Hulkamaniac.
Right, and it's kind of tarnished in my eyes because it's like, I know what you were doing 6 months ago, and this isn't how you acted.
You agree with that, Matt?
It doesn't have that effect on me because I don't watch TNA. So.
Yeah, if you don't watch TNA, you wouldn't know what he acted like anyway, so
I don't blame you.
if you're a straight WWE fan, then you're going to like his return a lot. So you like his return, Matt?
Yeah, I love Hogan.
I like seeing him there. I do like seeing him there. I got to say that though, Steven. I like he's where he belongs. Like I said, he's the Mickey Mouse of the company.
Yeah, it is where he belongs. I just wish I wouldn't watch TNA.
You know, he should have never went to TNA, but you know, he tried something out and whatever. So that's another subject for another day, but Hogan came out and announced, you know, in honor of his friend that he fought at WrestleMania 3, he was going to announce the 30-man Andre the Giant Invitational Battle Royal. Said the winner would get a trophy. It was kind of cool looking with an Andre statue on there. I'd actually like to have a little replica of that made or something that you could get. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after he announced the 30-man Invitational, which I'm kind of glad to see, I'm wondering to see if this is going to be on the main show or is this going to be a pre-show thing to kick it off.
This is going to be on the card.
Okay, because past Royals, it seems like always kicked off the card. If you go back to WrestleMania 2, I think it was, they had a Royal kick off the card. I think WrestleMania 4 had a Battle Royal kick off the card that Andre the Giant won. Wearing the yellow tights. I remember that one where he throws out Bret Hart at the end. Both were really cool Battle Royals. I hope they go back to the old school way and throw a bunch of old school guys in this. That would be really neat, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What, like, have Goldberg enter it, you know? Have Goldberg enter the Battle Royal. Like, something like that.
Yeah, right.
Sting, even.
Yeah, that'd be a good spot for him.
Sting's really been actually just was interviewed in the UK show and said how he'd been purposely watching WWE the last few weeks, so I think he is coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said he wants his last... Say what now?
Good spot for the Warrior, too.
They talked to the Warrior, too?
No, I said that'd be a good spot for the Warrior in that
Oh, yeah, I'd like to see him come out in that, too, yeah. That'd be a great spot for him, because they haven't had any intention to do him and Ryback like they were talking. So
right. He's still ripped.
yeah, he's still in good shape. The guy keeps in shape. That's one thing you can't say about him if he's a dick or not.
Yeah, he's ripped.
The guy's always kept in hella shape. So moving on, Cena comes out and he teased that he was going to be in the Battle Royal, which I knew from the start that wasn't going to happen. Bray Wyatt comes out, cut a great heel promo, and then Cena cut one of his funniest promo comebacks that I've seen in recent memory, where he told him he was wasted away in Margaritaville and all that stuff. Man, what'd you guys think of that? That was a great segment.
That was good.
That,
it's the first time in a while that Cena's actually made me laugh.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I hope he stays that way. I haven't seen him make me laugh since he fought The Rock, actually.
Yeah.
So, I like that he's getting back to that more edgier attitude, maybe. Being a little funnier. He needs to bring a little light to the feud anyway. It's kind of funny. Bray Wyatt's all dark, and then he comes back with this, like, tongue-in-cheek comeback. It was kind of funny.
Ruthless aggression.
The ruthless aggression era. Who will forget that? Oh, man.
Said it like 100 times.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so then after the hilarious comeback, Cena finally just challenges Bray Wyatt at Mania, which we all knew that was going to happen. Who didn't know that they were going to wrestle?
Right.
I thought the match was already planned. But they go ahead and officially make the match live on Raw. So I think it's going to be a good match, really, with Bray Wyatt in there. Bray Wyatt's going to have to make Cena have a good match to make this a good match, and I think Wyatt's good enough to pull it off. With his background and his family ties and stuff, I think he really knows how to work a match. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
I think he really... Yeah, I think he really could pull this match off and make it better than what anybody's anticipating. Because I think everybody's anticipating Bray Wyatt Cena's not going to be that good a match. But people don't know.
I think it's going to end up being a really good match. So I think they're both going to deliver. Cena not being in the main event.
I think so too.
I think it's going to be a lot better than what we're imagining.
And you know, the other thing I was thinking of, people have not really seen what Bray Wyatt can do, and that's a good thing. I think they did this for a reason. They didn't let him really show off all of his talent in the ring, and now it's time that he can break it out.
Right, yeah.
Really, you've just seen Harper and Rowan, the two guys really mainly fighting for these guys. He never really does much in-ring work. And his matches are real quick if they are done. And you really don't get to see, you only get to see glimpses of what he can do. We're going to see what he can really do against a guy like...
He just had a great match with Kofi on SmackDown.
Okay.
Last night was a really good match.
Yeah, well, I think now he's going to start showing people what he can do. I don't ever get to catch SmackDown, so that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks for me, but whenever you guys can give me updates on something on SmackDown that's changed the outcome of Raw, I'd like to know. So,
I didn't even know Kofi was still employed.
Yeah, they haven't had Kofi on there for so long. It's like, what's his name? Swagger took his spot, or I can't even think. What happened?
Yeah, like who took his spot?
Somebody took a spot. Okay, so they went to a commercial break after that whole great opening that they did, in my opinion. They came back and they showed Harper and Rowan facing off with Cena and Hogan in the ring. And I'm like, are they actually going to get it on? Is Hogan going to actually throw some punches? What do you guys think?
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing, and I'm thinking he cannot wrestle. He didn't pass the physical, so he can't do it. So then he ends up in Cena's corner, and it's kind of cool they kept Hogan out there longer than what I expected. I thought he'd come out, cut a short promo, and leave. They actually got him involved in the story a little bit. So maybe he'll have an outcome on the match at Mania. That'd be neat.
I think he's going to end up being in Cena's corner at Mania.
Wouldn't it be neat? Wouldn't it be neat to see him come out and like hit a leg drop to help Cena win or something?
Yeah, there's no way he's not going to. Yeah, there's no way.
What, you don't think that there's no way he's not going to get in the ring?
Yeah, I think it's 100% sure that he's getting in that ring at WrestleMania.
No matter if he wrestles no matter if he just hits somebody with a big boot or a leg drop, he's getting in there.
Yeah, he's getting in there, regardless of what the doctors say. I'm sure he's going to get in there.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree. So Cena rolled up Harper. Rowan and Harper got upon the apron and teased the confrontation with Cena and Hogan. Wyatt backed him off, and Hogan's music hit, and both of them hulked out. And I was kind of laughing whenever Cena was doing the Hulkamaniac Hulk out thing when they went to commercial. I don't know about you guys, but that was a little corny.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You thought it was cool?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, you had New Age Hogan and Old Hogan. That was what was funny.
Right.
Hawking out together finally. You know, it's like, we finally meet. Okay. So moving on. They had a clip of last week's ending. The Authority entered. They came out to the entrance ramp. It was Stephanie and Triple H. They said they came out to offer Bryan an apology. That they actually think there's value in Daniel Bryan, and that it's not like Orton, Batista, or Triple H's value, but he has a following and some value. They offer an apology to Bryan and says that Triple H is above Bryan and he will accept the apology or suffer the consequences. So that led on to another segment that we're going to get onto here later on. But what did you guys think about that whole deal? It was just kind of a filler thing, in my opinion.
Right.
To continue the storyline. What do you think, Matt?
I enjoy it. Triple H as the heel promoter is starting to grow on me.
Triple H has always been such a much better heel than he is a face, so
Yeah.
I'm glad he's back in that role too.
Yeah, I love him as a heel.
Yeah, he's way.
Last night on SmackDown, he legit just straight out said that he's burying Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. Like, close.
So we might as well just say it right now.
Burying.
We might as well just say it right now that he went ahead and challenged Daniel Bryan later on at Mania, which we all knew was going to happen sooner or later. Next, the Outlaws come out in their street clothes and embrace Stephanie and Triple H as they walk to ringside, which I think was kind of a cool nod to, old school DX. That was right before they went to the commercial. What'd you guys think of that? That was kind of cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, having the Outlaws come out and shake Stephanie and Triple H's hand. It gave you the McMahon Helmsley faction when they were in it. All together.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, they were all in there together.
I love Triple H as a heel.
Yeah, me too. I love the Outlaws as a heel tag team.
They were great, man.
They're doing great, in my opinion, still.
Yes, they are. I'm surprised. I mean, Road Dogg's body hasn't changed. He was never in great, shape. He just looks the same.
No, he's always had to rock the T-shirt and baggy pants.
Right, yes.
It's not like he ever hit the gym or anything. That was more Billy Gunn's thing. He never hit the gym. Billy Gunn did, though. I've watched a few of their RF shoot interviews, and I mean, they're hilarious. If you guys haven't ever seen their shoots, they're hilarious.
Well, they're like friends in real life, which makes it good for TV because it's not fake. It's like they're actually friends. They are
right.
with each other.
I just remember the story that they tell about how at WrestleMania 14 when they fought Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, which was Terry Funk. They said they were getting so mad. They're like, let's just go out and beat these guys' ass tonight. Let's beat these old son. They were saying that about Terry Funk. They're like, let's beat this old son of a bitch's ass tonight. Ain't that funny? Okay, so
Terry Funk, I loved it.
and they ended up beating his ass too, man. Bad that match. Ryback and the Usos going at it. Ryback during the match announced that he was going to be in the Andre the Giant Invitational Battle Royal.
Jesus.
So there's a spot filled. It looks like the Usos and Outlaws at Mania, like I've been claiming. Usos won with a splash on Axel, and they celebrated taunting the Outlaws after the match. What do you guys think? Usos Outlaws Mania for the belts?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
I do too. I don't even think it's going to be a triple threat or a four-way. I think it's going to be one-on-one.
Yeah, as long as Ryback's not involved, I'm good.
Oh, Ryback's in the Invitational Battle Royal, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, then I'm good then.
You know what would be a great spot, though, is have Ryback in the Invitational Battle Royal and then Goldberg music hits.
And then eliminate them first.
That'd be great. I wish they would do it more like a Royal Rumble style. where guys came out in intervals instead of everybody in the ring at one time would be cooler because it'd make more of a surprise, like who's going to come next, you know?
Yeah, I've always hated those battle royals they did where it was like they're all in there at once. Like, it's not good.
They're not really that. They're hard matches. You can't move around. So a lot of them don't last very long just for that reason.
Yeah, they're not that great.
But I think if they're going to do one,
right.
if they're going to do one at Mania, though, they're going to do it right, though, and they're going to do a good one.
Yeah, just do it right. Make everybody happy.
Okay, so Matt, you agree on Ryback, Usos, Outlaws, right?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen, I'm sure.
Yeah. Moving on to the next segment, it was Kane talking to Shield backstage about their current status and actions. He was trying to light a fire under him, he said. He said they had been a valuable asset and said that the tension started when they lost the titles to the Brotherhood. He gave them a chance to exercise their demons against them on that night. And the Shield says they will. And Reigns gets up in Kane's face and says that they will avenge it and that he will exercise a demon or something like that. Like they teased a feud with him and Kane or something almost. So you think there's a feud coming with Kane and Reigns? Face turn possible?
I wonder if this is their WrestleMania angle.
Yeah, something's going on here. I heard there was a possible... Did you guys happen to read it? I didn't ever read it, but there was a possible new match that they're thinking of doing with the Shield.
No, I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up again, but something else they're thinking about doing with them at Mania. I can't even remember what it was.
Yeah, they need to do something with Kane, though. I mean, they're building Kane up, and then it's like, I don't see anything for him for WrestleMania. I don't know.
I don't see anything for Kane at WrestleMania either, unless you put him maybe against Reigns one-on-one.
Yeah, and that's kind of like weak.
And then Ambrose Rollins for the U.S.
Well, then that's good because there's a build-up to that, you know?
Because Rollins and Ambrose have had their build-up going anyway. That's the guy that's really mad at Ambrose has been Rollins.
Yeah, and that's got like some fire under it. But then Reigns is kind of the one that's just like, we don't know what to do with him.
Or let's put Ambrose, Rollins, and Big E in a three-way and unify the titles.
Big E.
Big E's got to get in there. And
get him in there.
And speaking of Big E, he was up next. He took on Jack Swagger along with Cesaro and Zeb Coulter. What are you guys thinking? I think Big E's getting over every week more and more with the crowd.
Yeah, he dropped that terrible name.
Yeah, I don't like calling him just strictly Big E. Like,
neither do I.
But that's
Langston
just
was terrible too.
Yeah, that's just another story though. But what do you think, Matt?
I like Big E. I don't have a problem with it at all.
But the weird thing about this now is that I'm thinking there's no Intercontinental match going to be coming at Mania because he threw his name in for the Mania Battle Royal.
Wow.
Did you guys notice that during the match?
Yeah, I never thought too much about it. But,
the first thought that went through my head is no IC match at Mania, it looks like. Yeah, which I don't know about that whole deal. I think they should unify the titles at Mania, but it looks like Big E may just get stuck putting the Battle Royal.
Wow.
Swagger was rolled up by Big E. Swagger gets pissed and blames Cesaro and gets up in his face. Cesaro got up in Swagger's face. Zeb got mad and forced him to shake hands. They do, but Cesaro squeezed Swagger's hand as hard as he could and dropped him almost to his knees. And then he let go as they walked off. So the Cesaro-Swagger match at Mania looks like it may happen to me.
Yeah, that was a funny segment.
I don't know what they're doing with these guys. Are they splitting them up to get Cesaro on his own for Mania, or are they going to actually have a match?
Don't know.
Because you think about it, they've had a hell of a build-up to not have a match.
I think they're both going to be in the Battle Royal.
Did they both put their names in? I don't have that noted. If they did.
Yeah, I saw something on one of the dirt sheets that said that they were running promos from Cesaro overseas with him saying he's going to be in the Battle Royal.
Okay. That's
It was
cool.
on some German rerun of Raw or something, and somebody said that they were telling him Cesaro's now in it.
Huh. Well, then it looks like...
It seemed pretty strange to me when I read it, but...
Well, it looks like maybe the tension will be resolved there then, and they will, Cesaro or Swagger will eliminate one another or something, and that'll be the final blow.
Yeah, they'll probably just do that, eliminate each other,
Yeah, it's just been such a build-up to not do anything with them.
I mean, that was cool. That'd be cool if they eliminated each other, and then maybe later on in WrestleMania, they're like, all right, well, you're having a match tonight, and it's kind of like, that would be cool, I would think.
Like an impromptu match? That'd be neat.
Yeah, or like a hardcore match, or, a gimmick or something.
Oh my God, a hardcore match between them two would be sweet.
Yeah, it would. I'd dig it.
Yeah. So after that commercial break, guys, Taker came out. But it wasn't much. I mean, he just came walking out to the ring. Heyman, he comes out on the ramp to Brock's music. But Taker's entrance was so long. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, I think I felt my hair grow.
Yeah, it was like too long. My beard got thicker while I watched. It was like... I was like, is this entrance ever going to end? So his entrance lasted longer than the segment, in my opinion. But yeah, Heyman come out on the ramp and pretty much begged and pleaded for the Taker to not face Lesnar at Mania because the streak will end. Taker says the biggest fear is the fear of the unknown, is the biggest fear of all. And at Mania 30, Lesnar will rest in peace. That's practically what he said. The fear of the unknown is the biggest fear of all, and at WrestleMania, Lesnar will rest in peace. Exactly what he said. Like, that's pretty much all he said. So, what'd you guys think of that? I was kind of let down by the Taker segment.
I want a buried alive match.
Oh, buried alive match at Mania would be awesome.
I think it should be a gimmick match. Something like buried alive, or don't do a casket match. I don't know.
There's been a lot of talk. Do they want to do gimmick? Should they do gimmick matches at Mania? So, I don't know.
I like gimmicks.
I like them too. I think one or two in there always works. I liked when they had the Money in the Bank.
Me too, and I don't know why they got rid of that.
Yeah, they made it its own pay-per-view now, and it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's because they got two ladder matches in one night, and it just kind of ruins it, There's only going to be one match out. There's only the one match out because there's only the one belt. Well, then, yeah, good. That's how it should be now, yeah.
Yeah, there'll only be one Money in the Bank match now. It should go back to Mania. I wish they would.
Good. That's one of my favorite pay-per-views.
Oh, you like the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, actually.
I love Money in the Bank.
Well, I like the Money in the Bank match, and that's why I was digging Mania there for a few years. And when they took it out, I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, and it seemed like something was lacking after they took it out. It's like, well, that's...
I thought it was better as a Mania ritual than, like, its own pay-per-view, kind of like Hell in the Cell and Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Like a chamber every SummerSlam would be sweet,
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from that, they announced Bryan and Big Show versus Batista and Orton, and Brotherhood versus The Shield before the commercial break. Brotherhood and The Shield went at it after the commercial break. Rollins and Reigns were the two in The Shield tagging with Ambrose at ringside. Rollins plus Rhodes. Rollins pinned Rhodes, after the skull stomp or whatever he calls that move. It was a pretty good match. The Shield actually stood united with their fists together as they went to the commercial break. I was kind of surprised to see that. What do you guys think?
I expected it. Yeah.
Say what?
Yeah, I didn't expect anything different.
You thought they'd stand together. You didn't think there'd be any tension during the match?
No.
Yeah, because they were kind of trying to show Kane their unity. So they kind of stuck together for this match. So I don't know what's going to happen with these. It's like they just don't know what to do with the Shield going into Mania, in my opinion.
I think that's part of it.
They keep changing things up, switching things around. It's kind of funny. A little note that I just wanted to mention. They recently interviewed Roman Reigns, and he said on their initial debut, when they debuted the Shield, they wanted him to come out with like tactical force shields that said Shield on them. Like, you guys know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, actually carry a shield, all three of them, through the crowd. And they were all thinking, like, how are we going to get in the ring with these shields? None of us have ever carried anything to the ring. We're going to go up to beat Ryback, and he's just going to start pummeling on us while we're trying to get in there with these shields. And everybody's going to know who we are because we got Shield plastered on the front of the shield. That's just a funny story, I thought. So Vince was like, what are you guys, wussies? You really need those things? And they said no, and they said they threw them to the side and went out there and just beat Ryback. So, and put him through the table. But they want him to have shields, so that's funny.
I want to see those shields now.
I want one of those shields. They were made and ready to go, but he threw them to the side right before their debut segment at that pay-per-view, and they went out there and just beat up Ryback and put him through the table instead without him, so that's cool. Just a little note that I wanted to note.
Somewhere in that warehouse.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got them, though. I'm sure they've got them. Unless some technical person or somebody grabbed one, you know. So moving on from that, Natalya tapped out AJ on SmackDown, they showed, as they came back from the commercial break. And then you had the Bellas. I don't even know why they showed Natalya tapping out AJ on SmackDown as they came back. Oh, yeah, Natalya was in the booth. Okay. Bellas versus Tamina Snuka and AJ, kind of just a blow-off match. Nikki hits AJ with a torture rack bomb. And it ended with Nikki holding up the belt towards Natalya on the apron. I'm thinking it's looking like the Bellas and Natalya are gonna go at it. Like maybe a three-way match between Nikki, Natalya, and AJ at Mania for the belt.
I don't know. AJ just beat Natalya Tuesday on main event for the title, so I don't know where they're going with it.
Yeah, it seemed to me like something's going on there. I don't know why they'd have Nikki standing over holding the belt looking at Natalya.
Right.
Unless they've scrapped that idea. But I'm so not into the Divas division anymore that's not even funny, so we'll just move on from that. Renee Young comes back and interviews LL Cool J and Chris O'Donnell at ringside in the audience, and this was obviously a USA segment. They showed their TV clip, which I didn't really care about and don't care about talking about. Then they came back showing Wyatt and Cena promo segment from earlier and said they'll be hearing before the end of the night from Wyatt. Brian come out, got a great response as always. He said the Yes Movement is live in Memphis and talked about Triple H and last week's ending and says that he's not backing down. He's going to fight. He won't apologize and said he had one word, which was no. The whole crowd started chanting no. What'd you guys think of that?
Yeah, that's almost expected every week now.
Yeah, but then Brian says that they were going to occupy the ring and to occupy Raw, and said it to the whole crowd, and said unless he gets this match with Triple H at Mania 30, that a bunch of actors and unknowns that came out with shirts on to occupy the ring, that were supposed to be the Yes Movement, were all out there. They were all out there chanting yes as they went to the commercial break, claiming they'd occupy the ring until Triple H came out and gave them the match. So they came back with the... Huh?
You know those weren't actors, right?
Say what?
You know those weren't actors, right?
I don't know. I figured they were like just stand-ins or something, but what were they? Were they actual fans?
They were fans. They were handing out wristbands to fans in the hard cam section before the show started, and some of them were people from backstage, like backstage employees.
I figured some of them had to been backstage employees or What I meant by actors and stand-ins was like backstage employees or maybe up-and-coming talent or something they just had sitting back there.
Yeah, those were legit fans that paid a ticket to get into the show.
Well, that's cool that they actually used real fans then. That's neat.
Yeah.
So they were all wearing the Yes shirts. So Authority finally had to come out to the ramp. Triple H and Steph. They acknowledged that the Raw movement, that there is a yes movement and said he is happy for Bryan and all, but he had 30 seconds to clear the ring before they were all arrested. They wouldn't leave, and Bryan said that they'd all leave, and they could have Raw in front of an empty arena. So what'd you guys think of that? Like, they acted like the whole crowd was just going to leave Raw, and just, this whole segment was weird to me. So,
yeah, that was a little strange.
did you guys actually think that they'd exit the entire arena? I mean,
No.
I never was thinking that that would happen either. What do you think, Matt?
Wait till next year.
No, I don't think that. I didn't think that they were literally going to clear the entire arena out. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I never thought that that was going to happen. After that, Triple H sent 2 security guards down, and they walked back. Steph yelled for them to get back down there. Steph says they're all wrapped up in this Daniel Bryan stuff. They say Daniel Bryan... they stay, and Daniel Bryan says that they own the ring and they aren't leaving. Triple H says, roll somebody's music, and it's none other than Damian Sandow, which Bryan tells Sandow to come on down, and he obviously isn't going to go down there with all these people standing around helping Daniel Bryan out. Steph yells at Bryan to get out of the ring, and she owns all of them. Bryan won't leave till Triple H agrees, so Triple H finally furiously grabs the mic. He accepts and says that if he wants the match, then he has it pretty much at Mania, so one-on-one with Triple H. But Bryan said that he wanted a stipulation added that if he wins, he gets added into the main event match with Batista and Randy Orton for the title, which pretty much saved Mania, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God, because they're going to save Mania here. We've been talking for weeks and weeks how it should have been a triple threat match anyway with Daniel Bryan in there, so I'm glad they finally did it. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Triple H agreed to all of it furiously as they went to a commercial. But it is a great idea, you know, having Bryan possibly have 2 matches of the night, which is really going to satisfy all the Daniel Bryan fans that have been disappointed in the way they've been using him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and when they came back to Raw after the break, they were talking about Bryan and Triple H. Lawler was in the ring to announce the results of the WWE app vote, which ended up being a Memphis street fight between Christian and Sheamus. I'm thinking this was the match of the night right here. Nobody topped. You couldn't top this if you wanted to because of all the spots that they had. I mean, it was stiff as hell. I'm loving this feud between Christian and Sheamus still, too. I mean, I can't wait for the payoff at Mania. If they had this good a match, think of the match that they'll have at Mania if they put together. It's going to have to be a gimmick-type match, though. What about a ladder match or something like that? Or I don't know. I don't know what they could have a ladder match over, but a TLC match maybe. Who knows? What do you guys think of that match, man? That was great. Several cool...
That should be your hardcore match at WrestleMania right there.
Yeah, that should have been the match right there at Mania, right?
Yeah.
It's like they've almost... now how are they going to top that? So it's got me wondering, will they have Christian and Sheamus at Mania now? Because how are they going to top that, you know?
But what are they even mad at each other about? Like, did the creative give them, like,
I think it just started at...
something?
Well, if you remember weeks back, he said they're good friends but better enemies. So I think it just started as a friendly feud and, you know, one of them things.
I mean, I just feel 10 years ago they would be fighting over something, and then, like, right in 2014, it's just like, they're just fighting. And it's like, why are they fighting? But I don't know. That's just kind of.
Well, I love Christian as a heel.
Yeah.
I just
like
watched some old clips of him last night as a heel, and I love him as a heel. So.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think on Christian, but I think he's a better heel than he is a face. You agree, Matt?
Yeah, he's a better heel.
Absolutely. Much better heel.
And I'm thinking that's one of the best feuds they've got going right now is Sheamus and Christian. And like you said, Steven, it was just made out of a friendly deal, and it's turned out to be great.
Yeah.
They both came back at the same time.
Heel, but he needs to change his music to like how it was in, like, you know, say 2005, 2006, where it's more like heel music. Because his music's still the same, and it's just like, well, it's more face music, not heel music.
Okay.
It's kind of one of those little tidbits. But
yeah, I'd like to see him have his original "Close Your Eyes" song that he had when he had Tyson Tomko. I liked that one a lot better. With the chick singing.
Heel music.
I like the chick singing the song.
Yes, me too.
I think they had I think they had a problem with a girl singing his song. I don't know why.
Well, the song now doesn't really fit his character now. You know, that's my thing. It's like, well, it doesn't really fit.
It's the same song. It's that "Close Your Eyes" song, but just in a different person singing it in a different kind of way. It's weird.
You know, the dude.
Yeah. Next, you had Batista talking with Maddox. Maddox claims Triple H and Steph had left the building. Orton said that he was willing to make the team of him and Batista work. If he is, Batista just looked at him and walked off. Then they went to the commercial. And then as we came back, Rusev promo live on the entrance ramp like they've been doing. And did you notice they've coined him the Bulgarian Brute?
I like Rusev.
Yeah, I'm digging Rusev. I think Rusev will be really good when he gets on the main roster. Finally, we get to see what he does.
Yeah.
People will be...
I've been catching up on NXT on the network. There's some cats on there that can wrestle.
I like NXT a lot, and yeah, like I said, I hope they do make it an alternative product where not everybody's sent up, you know? Like, they use guys that'll fit the WWE mold, but keep the guys that are doing good down there that aren't fitting the WWE mold and make it an alternative. Kind of like an old territory throwback.
Yeah.
Where you can send guys up, send guys down, you know?
Right.
It's kind of cool.
I wonder if they'll do something at WrestleMania for NXT.
I've heard they're planning a match with Cesaro, maybe the Ascension involved, Bo Dallas, Adrian Neville.
Cesaro and Sami Zayn would be...
Sami Zayn is supposed to be on the opposite team. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll have to remember what that NXT match is and mention it next time or something, or I'll let you know about it. So when they came back, after the Bulgarian Brute segment, they showed Hogan talking about Holden, I called him, or something. But they showed Hogan talking the Andre Memorial Battle Royal again from earlier. Wyatt's interrupt and cut an eerie promo in the middle of that segment, and he accepted the WrestleMania 30 match with Cena, and that was great. What'd you guys think?
Great, incredible.
He had a really cool promo this time. I can't even remember all the words that he said, but I just remember I dug the promo when I was watching it.
He's so awesome.
I was like, this guy, how good is this guy? Like we keep saying, like, this guy needs the belt almost. He needs to be.
I'm sure it's coming.
I'd like to see him put in that title picture, and having that clan, and let's keep the Wyatt family together for a long time, and add some members and give it some depth, and let's not just run through it like Nexus.
Right.
Let's keep this a real faction and make it something that's put down in history. You know what I mean? Something that goes down in history that people are going to remember, like Evolution, you know?
Yeah.
Like the Ministry of Darkness.
If you bring Paige up, put Paige in there with him.
Paige would be so great in there with him.
Awesome.
Paige is great.
They need a woman. They need a diva for sure.
Well, Steven, you go check out Paige after this, Paige on NXT on YouTube. And you tell me that she wouldn't be you wouldn't tell me she would be a perfect fit to put in the Wyatt family. I've been saying that from the get-go.
She's the whiter skinned with the black hair, right?
Yeah, she's the one that she was actually one that was on Tough Enough with Stone Cold.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
She's
the best wrestler they got in NXT in my opinion.
Wow.
Or in the entire roster in my opinion.
Yeah, because they're just ruining the divas because they're not doing anything with them. I mean,
right.
Do something with them.
I just think Paige has that gothic kind of look that would fit that clan so good, and then you could get her up on the roster with some good wrestling and get the Divas division back in order and start calling up like Charlotte and.
Yeah.
Flair's daughter and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Terrible.
so we all agree Brian, Bray Wyatt, cut a great promo accepting the match at 30 for him and Cena, which is a lock now. And then we go into the main event, which is Big Show and Daniel Bryan versus Batista and Orton. It showed Big Show, KO, and Kane on SmackDown before it. And the only thing that I was thinking about in this was an Evolution reunion between Batista and Orton. Lawler mentioned the fans calling Batista Boutista, and even called it himself Boutista. Called Batista himself Boutista. I mean, I that's funny to me that they're actually starting to even make the announcers go against Batista. You know what I mean? Making him even more of a heel. Like keep calling him Bautista. Like we're gonna acknowledge it, and we want people to call him that. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea to have him do that. So Bryan ended up winning after the running knee on Orton for the pin. It was a decent main event, but it was a great Raw overall in my opinion because they saved the WrestleMania 30, one of the biggest WrestleManias. They saved it by putting Daniel Bryan possibly getting into that main event. And that's what I loved about this Raw. What do you guys think overall on Raw this week? Because that concluded Raw right there.
I think win or lose, Daniel Bryan is getting into that main event. I think if he loses or he's somehow screwed out of that Triple H match, I think that's where we see Vince come back, and Vince puts Bryan into the main event.
Great idea. Do exactly.
Or Shane puts Bryan into the main event.
Almost exactly like I was saying that they should do with Punk, maybe if he came back when they put him in the main event. Do that with Bryan instead, even if he loses to Triple H. Especially if Triple H screws him during the match.
Right.
You know he's going to show up in that main event.
Right.
And you know Vince is going to be there.
Yeah,
I have a feeling Vince is not going to miss WrestleMania 30. I don't care how bad he's feeling.
No way.
I don't care how bad he's feeling. If he has to come out there, feeling like shit, he will. Do whatever it takes. They say he's not in great health right now, but I think they say he's wanting to make a TV comeback, so he's getting better. He's not going to miss Mania 30.
Right.
I think they're trying to keep that a secret, though, that he's going to show up, That's going to be the big surprise.
Sounds like it.
I'm just predicting that right now. There's a couple more things I wanted to mention before we went off air for this episode, which I think we had a pretty good episode, guys, and I thank you guys for calling in like usual. But the return of Bobby Lashley to TNA, what do you guys think of that?
I didn't know until you texted me, Jeff.
Yeah, I thought he'd come back to WWE if he'd come back for one more run, especially after that last TNA deal that didn't turn out great. I wish he would have came back to WWE. I actually liked Bobby Lashley. I know, Matt, you said you don't really care for him, right?
Yeah, don't care.
But he does boost TNA, in my opinion. Just his presence there and having that superstar aura from WWE. Now, you got him. You've got MVP that came in. You've got the Wolves that have come in. Now you've even got Jeff Hardy with his new gimmick. Have you saw it, Will-o'-the-Wisp? I am loving Willow. They're just calling him Willow, but it's Will-o'-the-Wisp. It was actually his gimmick that he had before he became a jobber in WWF back in his young days. And it is so great, guys. I mean, he has this maniacal edge. He's just crazy. He came out and just destroyed Rockstar Spud and just snapped. He's totally different from the it's an alter ego from Jeff Hardy, which is really cool to see. I think it's always good when a wrestler tries to reinvent himself and stay fresh. And I actually thought Jeff Hardy was getting stale, in my opinion, so it helps him. You guys have to check out Willow. He's just neat, man. And his promos, the promos they've had for him and stuff leading into his debut, which he finally debuted this Thursday, but the promos they had leading in were great. He actually showed up at Lockdown and did a move off the top of the cage on Rob E or something like that. I can't remember, but helped them win.
That's awesome.
But I'm glad to see Jeff Hardy's actually still wrestling and healthy and doing good after all the problems that he's had, you know?
Yeah, I'd like to see him back in the WWE.
So, Matt, Steven, you guys got anything to add before we conclude this episode?
No, I'm good, man.
I just want to give a shout-out to everybody who actually is listening to our episodes consistently, and thank anybody who has subscribed lately. And I want to encourage anybody who listens to give us a like and subscribe and even comment, and we'd be willing to answer anybody's questions or bring up any subjects that they want us to talk about. What do you guys think about that?
Sound good?
Yep, sounds good to me too. That's going to conclude episode 8. It's always good to hear from you guys. Till next week, I'm going to say peace out.
See you later, you guys.
Take it easy.